Happy New Year, everybody! And from the title, I'm sure you can tell, this is a giveaway video. Yes, this is Eddy Gives Back 2022, all month long in December, and a good part of November. I get mail from friends, and my wife says, "Who's that from? What did they give you? Who's that from? Did you give them something back?" Well, and I've talked about this before, I don't necessarily have something for each person that gives me something. So I do this giveaway as my way of giving back to the community. Hopefully one of my friends that was so generous to me can win something, but I leave it open to everybody because I know we're so generous that we would be happy with anybody winning. I have 3 prizes to win. I try to give away things that I would like to get. And so I think I've done that. These first 2 things are going to require a video response. I do have a 3rd prize. It's going to be open for everybody. So everyone can participate on some level. So prize 1, and I actually won this in a giveaway. I do have permission to give it away, pay it forward, is a Tommy Lasorda index card with a PSA DNA cert. That's part of prize 1. Also, a part of prize 1 is an Andre Dawson leather and lumber auto. I hope you're paying attention. Ground chuck. Yes, yes. I know you'll probably do a video anyway. And so that's prize 1. Prize 2 also includes a couple autographs. Tom Tresh. So if you're a fan of the New York American League team, which a lot of you are, for some reason, there's a Tom Tresh. Scott, you ready? Oscar Gamble in a Cleveland Indians uniform. And 25 Hall of Famer cards from the High Pop era, most from the High Pop era. I do have one vintage that's in there, so 25. So prize 1 is these 2. Video response, prize 1. Video response, prize 2 are these 3 items here. For the video response, I would like to see, and I've done this 2 or 3 other times, but I want a human interest story in sports. Someone that came back against overwhelming odds. Someone born with a disability, overcame a disease, death in the family, anything like that. I have done myself Dan Jansen, Olympic speed skater. And the first one was Jim Eisenreich, who has Tourette syndrome. We've had many great responses in the past. If you wanted to recycle, someone's already done Jim Abbott. I wouldn't care if you did it, but show an item or talk about them, talk about their story a little bit. It could be as little as, as simple as 30 seconds, whatever. It doesn't matter. You need to put my @ in your Eddy's Cardboard Chaos in your title. And you're going to have until midnight on January 24th. I picked that date because that's my birthday. It's easy to remember. Midnight on the 24th. On the 25th, I will upload a video with a list of everyone that's entered. And on the 26th, Thursday, at some point, we'll do a random from the entries. And maybe do that live. It just depends on what's going on that day. So, story of someone that overcame long odds, or even your Cinderella story, something like that. I just call it human interest. And you're eligible for these 2 prizes. Before midnight on the 24th, 25th, the video will go up of who's entered. 26th will pick the winner for these 2 prizes. So I will do mine in a minute after I talk about the comment entry. So let me reorganize here. Okay, the comment prize is a mystery prize. Whatever's inside the Pigs in Space lunchbox of mystery. That's right, I've got some goodies in here. Oh my. I'll make sure it's okay. I got some stuff in there. You don't know what it is. Obviously, it's a lunchbox of mystery. In order to win that, so people that make videos are not eligible for the comment prize 3, although you certainly can still comment. I just won't include you. I want to know what your can't miss YouTube channel is. You watch every video they upload. You don't miss a video. You have the bell turned on. You're watching it while you're driving, even though you shouldn't be. What is your can't miss channel? Hashtag channel has to have that hashtag or the software will not find it. Also, you cannot put me. No pandering. Normally, I'm open to that sort of thing, but what I'm looking for is I want to know what other channels are out there maybe I don't know about. So that's prize 3. Only open to comments. Hashtag channel. I'll put up the rules here for everybody so you see them. And if you do a video response, you're still welcome to comment on a channel or whatever channel you like that you can't miss. You just won't be eligible for the Pigs in Space Lunchbox of Mystery prize. All right, it's time. I need to do my human interest story. I get to do one too. So mine is Monica Seles. And when John Mangini broke in here the other day, he showed this off on my behalf before I even got a chance to. So this is 1990 SI for kids. It's the first year they put cards in magazines. Very early card of Monica Seles. Some would say a rookie card. Doesn't matter to me that either way. But so Monica Seles turned pro at 14. And he almost immediately beat Chris Everett, who was very highly ranked. At 16, she was already ranked 6th in the world. A few months later, she was already beating Steffi Graf and won the French Open to become the youngest winner of the French Open and moved into the #1 ranking in the world. In a few seasons, she won 9 Grand Slams, 53 titles, and had earned $16 million. From January of 91 to February of 93, so 2 years and a month, she reached 33 of 34 finals of tournaments that she was in. She entered 34 tournaments in those 2 years and 1 month and reached the final 33 times. She won 22 of them. She had 159 wins and just 12 defeats. And again, in that 2 years, she was the very definition of dominant, and she was still a teenager. She was on her way to being the GOAT, the greatest. Whatever you think of Venus Williams is now, that's what Seles was on her way to becoming. And there was really no way to stop her except maybe just one. Yeah. Then
Bitte sofort einen Arzt auf den Platz.
On April 30th, 1993, some psycho stabbed her during a water break of a match. Gunter Parchi was a man obsessed with Steffi Graf. Absolutely obsessed. He was mentally unstable. He was like Sean Tiefert to Moberg. That was this guy in Steffi Graf. Just had her picture posted everywhere. Just lived and breathed Steffi Graf. And he was actually said to be suicidal after Seles was beating Graf in all these Grand Slam events. And so what his goal is to get Graf back in the #1 spot. So that's why he stabbed Seles. She suffered 2 stab wounds. Her spine and vital organs were missed by mere inches. Rushed to the hospital, obviously. For a few weeks, she couldn't move her hand. And while she recovered physically fairly quickly, It still took her years to get back on the court because she had PTSD and conditioning issues. And there were other things other than the physical attack that came into play. So 6 weeks after the attack, Graf was back at number one. So this Gunter Parachi kind of got his wish. And unfortunately, he just got a slap on the wrist, 2 years probation. And Graf, the rest of her life, would not play in Germany because she was nervous about this guy and just the PTSD, and it was really hard on her. So in August 95, she returned to competitive tennis. She immediately won a tournament in Toronto in straight sets. Next, she went to the US Open and lost to Graf in 3 sets. That was in 95. The next year, the Australian Open, she finally won. Here's a look at that.
That's out, and that's the title. Monica Seles winning her 4th Australian Open crown. Still undefeated at Flinders Park. Anke Huber still to take a set off her opponent. Esther and Carolee are delighted.
So that was the 96 Australian Open, and that would be her final major. So she won all these majors, Grand Slam events before her attack, and came back and won the one more Australian Open. She played for several more years after that, but never was able to get beyond the quarter and semifinals in subsequent tournaments, and eventually retired in the early 2000s. And that's it. That's Monica Seles' story. It almost, as I was putting this together, my first thought was, well, this sounds almost like a what could have been kind of story. But it really serves as both, because she was really great for those 4 years in her teens, had the injury, but was still able to come back and win a Grand Slam. The Australian Open, that was against Anke Huber, by the way. She was still able to do that, and I think complete the comeback. Obviously, her career would have been way different had that never happened, but I think she should be celebrated for her, just her bravery and being able to come back against something that's so horrible. So it's known as the most horrible day in tennis history. The article I found had a title or something like that. Most horrific day in tennis history. Okay, if you're going to do a video, please at me in the title so I can find it. If you're commenting, again, here's the rules again. Pause this if you're not sure what to do. If you're commenting, hashtag channel. I go over my rules in such detail, and still I get people say, you missed me, you missed me. By the way, okay, one last thing. Jason, Mr. Fisher Bike, you're getting a free entry. You may do a VR just to make it official, but I left you off the wheel last year, and I told you I was going to make it good, and that I'm going to make it good. So free entry for Mr. Fisher Bike. Everyone else, you got to do the work. You have 24 days. Happy New Year. Question me below if I missed something. Until next time, remember, we don't count subscribers, we count friends.